What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. I got a little bit of extra for you. It is Monday, July 25th, 2022. I am JD from New York. Welcome to the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Monday mornings, wherever you may be. It is a glorious day, ladies and gentlemen. Not only did we get the greatest day in WWE history with Vince McMahon retiring on Friday, now we can log in the record books the second greatest day in WWE history. Bruce Prichard is not gone. Bruce Prichard's not gone yet. Bruce Prichard has been demoted. Paul Levesque, TripleH, is now head of creative in WWE. This is the day that we've all been waiting for. This is a glorious day where change is on the horizon. I have waited for this day for years. I've built this podcast for this day, leading up to this day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we can get to work. WWE announced this morning that Paul Levesque is head of creative. All responsibilities as far as creative is concerned is now going to be in the hands of Triple H. This is a WWE corporate statement. WWE and its board of directors today has announced the appointment of Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan as co-chief executive officers. Ms. McMahon has also been appointed chairwoman of the board, and Mr. Khan will continue to serve as a member of the board. His appointments follow Vince McMahon's retirement announcement on Friday, July 22nd. We are grateful for the opportunity to lead WWE together with our unmatched management team, said Ms. McMahon and Mr. Khan. We recognize this is a tremendous opportunity and responsibility, and we look forward to serving the WWE universe, end quote. Additionally, WWE executive Paul Levesque will assume all responsibilities related to WWE's creative in addition to his regular duties. Victory, ladies and gentlemen. Victory, guys. And my God, it tastes fucking sweet. I'm speechless. This is legitimately the news that I wanted to hear. We talked about it last night, live on air on YouTube with episode 437. I've been saying it for years. I said it for 3 hours last night. I said it all week since Friday. My ticket, my vote is for Paul Levesque. Now, if you're not going to do Triple H, Paul Heyman gets my second vote. But Paul Levesque gets my number one vote for creative. Bruce is not fired yet. He's on his way out. I don't know what Bruce Prichard's doing. I actually got news on that. It seems like he's going to be a executive for now as far as creative is concerned, but Bruce will be answering to Triple H. So Triple H and his creativity and his mindset is the one that's going to be leading the charge on Monday night and Friday night. And who knows, now maybe Tuesday, because Bruce was also in charge of Tuesday night. Bruce Prichard ran NXT. Shawn Michaels had nothing to do with the creative aspect of NXT. This may now drastically change Tuesday night for NXT 2.0. Now, I don't even know where to begin as far as changes are concerned. I said this last night on the podcast. You're not going to see immediate change. You may not even see it tonight live for Monday Night Raw, though it's going to be a must-see episode. Madison Square Garden, Rey Mysterio's 20th anniversary. Triple H is now in charge of creative. He's probably got a vision for what he wants to do on the show. We may see subtle changes here and there. We've seen some subtle changes already on Friday night with the commentary feeling a little bit more loose. Ring of Honor, New Japan was mentioned. You wouldn't get a chance in hell of that happening if Vince McMahon was still in charge. So we're going to see subtle changes, but we're not going to see the overall great change that we've been longing for all these years. You're going to see subtle changes happening here and there. I don't think we'll see change tonight. I don't think we'll see change on Friday. I don't think we'll see change at SummerSlam. Though it makes the shows a little bit more interesting because the aspect of what if, and now Triple H is in charge, what is he going to do, is definitely going to be present. But I'd say 6 to 12 months, over a year, you probably won't really see and feel a full-fledged change in the WWE product. But the opportunity for change is now definitely there with Triple H in charge. What I would do, minor changes first. There's a laundry list of things that we need to get done and change on Monday and Friday night. Burn the 24/7 title. Get rid of it. I won't even acknowledge it. Just get rid of it. There's no need for it on the show. There's no use for it on the show. It's not humorous anymore. Put R-Truth back in a comedic role and have him go out there and wrestle because he's a fantastic professional wrestler. Put Dana Brooke back in the women's division and give her an opportunity to do what she wanted to do, and that is wrestle. Put Akira Tozawa back in NXT. We don't need the 24/7 title on Monday night and Friday night anymore. Build the tag team division back up to prominence. Let's revive the tag team division. Less on keywords that Vince McMahon had banned. Get rid of that shit. Bring back those keywords. Don't handcuff the commentary team. Don't handcuff the wrestlers on the roster to not say words that Vince McMahon deemed inappropriate for WWE television. It's ridiculous. Basic example is he didn't want championships to be called belt because he thought belts were something that held up pants. Something along those lines. We got to get rid of that rhetoric. Get rid of it. Let's get the commentary team a little bit more organic. We need the commentary team to feel a little bit more organic. We need more emphasis on storytelling and calling the in-ring action. We need basically, the best way for me to put it, Pat McAfee and what he brings and his aura that he brings to the commentary table. We need more like that, genuine reaction. We don't need Triple H yelling in the fucking headset. We don't need Stephanie McMahon ordering what needs to be said through the headset to Michael Cole. Let them do what they need to do to get their point across and create a genuine, organic presentation. Let's get that mid-card back to prominence. And I mean build the Intercontinental Championship back up to be a prestigious title. Let's get that back to where it used to be, being the second best, second biggest title in the WWE. Let's put emphasis on the United States Championship and start building the mid-card division. I want to see acts like Tommaso Ciampa. I want to see Ricochet. I want to see Ali. I want to see Pete Dunne. And everybody else that's been hanging around in catering, not getting an opportunity. I want to see Dominik Dijakovic back on television. This news of Triple H being head of creative is going to absolutely put those guys in such an excitement. They'll be over the moon that Triple H is now head of creative. Which leads me to my next point. Let's stop shortening people's fucking names. Let's stop changing people's names, getting called up from NXT to the main roster. I have a vision. I know it's not going to happen. We'll see what Triple H wants to do. Butch going back to being Pete Dunne. You think Triple H wants to see fucking Pete Dunne run around like fucking Scrappy Doo on Friday Night SmackDown? More emphasis on Ricochet. Get Ali back in a mid-card program. Give him the opportunity to showcase his talent. Stop cutting people's fucking names off. Tommaso Ciampa back as being Psycho Killer. Emphasis on talent and giving equal opportunity to talent. Seriously. Get the world championships off of Roman Reigns. That needs to be something that needs to be done. Get the championships back on both brands. Create a brand separate entity in WWE. Raw separate from SmackDown and SmackDown separate from Raw. This is what you've created. Let's establish that. We need a world title on Monday night and we need a world title on Friday night. If not, then end the brand split. End the brand split. Lessen the rematches. No more rematches. How many rematches did you see Triple H do on NXT? None. None. Not saying none, but NXT did not have weekly rematches every single week. I read a report yesterday on the podcast that Vince McMahon would forget that he did one match and go and do it 6 times more because he didn't realize that they were doing it on a week-to-week basis. And he would forget wrestlers' names. He was losing his fucking mind. No rematches, or in the best case scenario, lessen rematches and give me rematches that are going to create the feud that you're trying to get across on TV as important. We don't need to see it happen every fucking week. We don't need champions losing every week. We don't need champions having championship contenders matches, losing on television, and then setting up programs at the pay-per-view. That's the terrible way to go. That's the Bruce Prichard way. We don't need any of that. Organic feel and sound to promos. Let's start giving trust to the talent. Let's start having the talent go off bullet points. Maybe change the fucking theme music and have you get the wrestlers out there with fucking themes that matter and that are impactful, creating a presentation for all the wrestlers that come out, because WWE music nowadays is fucking dreadful. AEW right now is the leader in impactful theme music. Theme music is one of the most important aspects about a pro wrestler's entire package and presentation. WWE has seemingly gone away from that. I don't know who's in charge of that or what needs to be done, but I think TripleH has a grasp on what needs to be done because he did it with NXT. I don't know how many people out there are not excited about this. If you're not, then you could go take a fucking walk. We've been building up until this point. NXT with Triple H is one of the greatest, if not the greatest productions that WWE has ever created. The vision of NXT, the value that NXT presented to the viewer, and the build of their pay-per-views mixed with their weekly television shows feeling important. Triple H created a television show that was can't miss every single week. When was the last time you felt that about Monday night and Friday night? I can't remember. What Triple H did with NXT was the way WWE needed to be built. It was the future of WWE. They wiped all that clean. They wiped his legacy away. Now he's creating a new legacy. And Triple H was operating NXT on a budget. He wasn't able to go out there and do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. He was operating NXT on Vince McMahon's budget with the talent that he was bringing in from the indies, trying to make them into a WWE superstar, using his vision and his creativity to build those talents on his show and make his brand a viable brand. He had to take most of the fucking independent scene and change them into WWE superstars. He was working around the clock to build something that was a true alternative. He was working around the clock to build the future of the company. Now, he's in charge of WWE Creative with an unlimited budget. They're making more money now hand over fist. He's now in charge of Creative, and pretty much with all the talent that they have on that roster, they are at his disposal. Imagine what he can do now when he's in charge of the big leagues if he did what he did on NXT. This is tremendous. This is the second greatest day in WWE history. I haven't been this excited about the product since the day Daniel Bryan won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 30. That was the last time I can honestly say I was invested in WWE programming because of how great that storyline was and what it did for Daniel Bryan and that moment that he accomplished and achieved for himself at WrestleMania. This is tremendous. I don't see how anybody cannot be excited about this move. Now, I already hear people talking, oh, well, if you're going to do this with NXT, right, or if you're going to do this with WWE rather, and Triple H is going to turn the main roster into NXT, he's going to be hiring all these vanilla midgets and whatever the case may be that these people are talking about already. How well did that go for him? WWE was shit for the longest time. Triple H was doing the only thing that was redeemable in WWE in the time that he ran NXT. He ran a perfect show. So as far as I'm concerned, it can't get any worse. If you're complaining about Triple H being in charge and upset that he is now in charge of creative, I don't really know if you're here for the right reasons. And you're stuck in that Vince McMahon mentality. Oh, he built everything and he was the icon and he was the guy that did it all and built it all, and without him, we wouldn't be here. Fuck that. You don't think I know that? I don't give a fuck. Get him out. He doesn't belong there. 77-year-old man writing a show for an 18 to 49 demographic. Give me a fucking break. Triple H has his finger on the pulse, and now he's got a team backing him that is going to bring this company back to where it needs to be. I fucking love it. You're upset that Vince is gone? Good. And I'm somebody that hates change, but when I know change is right, I embrace the change. This is tremendous. What happens to Bruce Prichard? Backstage note on Bruce Prichard and his WWE role following Triple H being appointed head of creative. Fightful Select confirmed that Ed Koskey and Bruce Prichard were largely in control of Friday Night SmackDown. Go figure, the show sucked. The producers were told that Triple H would at least be the quote-unquote finish guy. It's since been confirmed that Bruce Prichard will remain with the company and be a part of creative. He'll probably end up being a creative counselor or somebody that sits there and his ideas will be taken under advisement, or they may make it across the table and onto the desk of Triple H. Bruce Prichard's power has diminished greatly with this news on Monday, and I couldn't be more happier. Get him the fuck out. I got people told, Bruce Prichard doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He created the Kane and Undertaker storyline and Undertaker and all these gimmicks, and he's a genius and all this stuff. Get him out! Get him out. That means to me that you enjoyed the current WWE product that they were running into the fucking ground. Rematches and fucking let me at him, Butch, and all this other fucking cringe garbage that you saw on television. This is the same guy that is in charge of creative and is having Akira Tozawa run around like a fucking loser on television every week with the 24/7 title. 24/7 title segments interrupting. This is what you want for your WWE television. Women's matches that don't exceed 90 seconds. This is what you want. This is the Bruce Prichard that I'm supposed to adore, right? And admire. Get him the fuck out. Get him the fuck out, man. I wouldn't piss on Bruce Prichard if he was on fire, man. Get him the fuck out of here. Complete waste of time. These types of fucking talents and personalities have no business being in the wrestling industry anymore. Get out. There's a reason why everybody is so over the moon about Triple H taking over both head of talent relations and creative. That's what happens when you're liked and you're beloved by your fucking locker room. Nobody appreciated Bruce. They knew why he was there and what he was capable of if he did not get this power diminished, or his power, the power that he had was still in his hands. The company would never grow. This is great. The producers were told that Triple H would at least be the finish guy. It's since been confirmed that Bruce Prichard will remain a part of creative. He had been the lead of the creative team, with Vince McMahon having the final say on all creative until Vince McMahon announced his retirement last week. Higher-ups in WWE were told last week that Vince would still be available to some degree as he transitions away from the company. Yeah, he'll be there, and he'll be a counselor of sorts, Vince McMahon, and I guess people will ask him what he thinks, and he'll have a say, and who gives a shit? Doesn't mean his say is going to be the one that they're going to end up going with. His say will be taken under advisement. Regarding the talent reaction, the news of Triple H being in charge of creative was said to be general excitement all around. When it was announced that Prichard was leading both creative and talent relations, there were some concerns amongst the talent as they had to ask the person that handled it creative for time off if they wanted. Everybody's like, well, you didn't ream Bruce Prichard for leading talent relations and creative. You didn't have a problem with him doing both, but all of a sudden now it's great that Triple H is doing it. Or you had a problem, rather, with Bruce Prichard doing it, but you don't have a problem now with Triple H doing it. Yes. I outwardly admit that to you. I had a problem with Bruce Prichard running both, and the roster did as well. I don't have a problem with Triple H doing it. You want to know why? How many incidences did you hear Triple H had while doing both in NXT? NXT ran flawlessly with Triple H doing head of talent relations and being head of creative. So why would it be any different now? Nothing happened in NXT that was detrimental to the brand, and nothing is going to happen to the main roster that is detrimental to Triple H leading talent relations and creative on Monday and Friday night. So why would I be upset that Triple H is running both? Everybody didn't want Bruce Prichard there. Everybody loves Triple H. That's what happens when you have the roster's best interest at heart, which Bruce Prichard and Vince McMahon did not. They only had their best interests at heart and their humor at heart and their entertainment at heart. They didn't give a fuck about anybody else. That's what happens when your locker room loves and appreciates you. This is a great day. USA Network, they are over the moon about this as well. USA Network is very excited about WWE appointing Triple H as head of creative. They are said to be excited just as much as everybody else. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I don't have any other feeling to emit to you guys, man. This is the greatest news that we could possibly ever see come out of WWE. Vince McMahon retiring was the greatest day in the history of the company, just because of the aspect of change. As long as that man was alive, nothing was going to change. As long as Bruce was there, nothing was going to change. Now Vince and Bruce has been demoted within the last 72 hours. Friday, Vince retired. Monday, Bruce was demoted. We got the two-headed snake, now powerless in WWE. The only one that remains is Kevin Dunn. And he'll be gone before the end of the year. And then we can get to work. The greatest day in the history of WWE, because change was needed, change was necessary, and everybody that was hoping for somebody like Triple H to come on in and clean the swamp, Stephanie to come on in and clean the swamp, now you're seeing it being done. We've preached, we've talked about it, and we built this podcast on the hope for potential change. How many people told me year after year, day after day, week after week, JD, if you hate the product, stop watching. JD, if you hate the product, stop watching. Why are you so negative? Why do you hate watching something? You're doing it nothing more for clicks, no more than, anybody else in the community. You're doing it for clicks and revenue and all this other shit, likes and social media clout. What the fuck you talking about? The reason why I stayed the course and I was so adamant about everything was for this day. If I abandoned the product like everybody else did, then I wouldn't be here today as excited as I am. The reason why we stayed and watched and suffered was because of this, the potential of this today. And if you're not on board with these changes, I need you to get on board. And if you're not willing to, you need to get the fuck out and go where Vince and Bruce are and become irrelevant again. I love it. I can't wait. I'm so fucking pumped for this. This is the greatest news that we as a fan base could collectively ever hear. I'll have more tonight on Monday Night Raw. I will be live after Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. I need 1,000, fuck it, I need 2,000 likes minimum on this great day where Bruce has been demoted and Triple H has been made into the head of creative of all WWE. Hit that subscribe button down below, turn on the bell for all notifications, and make sure you guys go check out the incredible podcast we did last night. Probably the best podcast I did all year, episode 437, live right now on the homepage. Go check that out if you missed anything coming out of last night's stream. Follow me on social media as well, at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. And I'll see you guys tonight live for Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Scripts. Goodbye, Bruce. Absolutely nobody is gonna miss you.